Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play. We're gonna dive right back into Elite Zoo South. Last session was tremendously fun to produce. I had a wonderful time developing that little special piece, that little commercial, if you will, at the end of the episode, and I am absolutely exhilarated by your responses. It is great to see that y'all enjoyed what was kind of put together and what was built. Took a bit of a risk, kind of put myself out there, and so it's great to see the positive response. I really wasn't sure how people would feel about, you know, just the whole thing, whether it's the sense of humor or it's the shots I chose or how I went about it, or, you know, what it was in general. It kind of came out of left field, right? I might have hinted at the idea a couple times way back in the early episodes, but it never really came up again recently, so I thought it'd be a nice surprise. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I was a little worried people wouldn't enjoy it. But the comments just blew me away. I'm so pleased to see that y'all are pleased, and that's great. That's great. I had a lot of fun making that, and it was definitely sort of a trip down memory lane. A lot of nostalgia, not just in the animals we were looking at, not just the you know, the angles and the shots that were being taken. But also just in the conversations that were being had, you know, references to stuff I say all the time, or references to stuff that's happened in the past. It was a lot of fun to put that together, and it really did. I feel like, honestly, from a timing perspective, I know this might sound strange, but I feel like things could not have worked out better. We had that bit of a pause between episodes, you know, before episode 100. That's unfortunate, but I am glad that our return could be with something like that, which, for me at least personally, just, it sets the tone, it sets the mood, it sets the vibe, right, moving forward. And in that way, I feel like the timing actually worked out wonderfully. And again, I'm really glad to see your overall reaction and response was all positive. It's I don't know, it really is. It was a lot of fun to produce, and I'm glad to see y'all liked it. Anyway, I'm sounding like a broken record, I know, but that's because I can't help but appreciate I can't help but communicate my appreciation, and no matter how I try, it would not be enough. It would not properly represent just how much I appreciate your feedback, your responses, and everything. It's been a wild journey, folks, but it isn't over yet. There is much more to do at Elite Zoo South. Again, we've talked about this a couple of times. I see a few of you asking me about, hey, when does Season 3 start? What's Season 3 going to be? Is it going to be Elite Zoo East, West, you know, etc., etc.? I get a lot of questions, and I'll be completely frank with you. I'll be completely transparent with you. I don't yet know. The next season, if there is a next season, you know, who knows where life takes us all, right? So the reason why I say if is because it might be so far in the future that we don't know. Maybe there'll be a Planet Zoo 2 by then, right? Like, this game has been out since November of 2019. Yeah, wow, I had to, like, think about what year we were at and everything. This game has been out since November of 2019. I wouldn't be entirely surprised if there's a sequel being planned, and by the time we finish Elite Zoo South, considering how many animals are left, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a sequel or a new DLC that, you know, influences our decision making. There's so many variables. So as far as what comes next, in all honesty, I don't yet know, because it's too early to say. We'll find out together when the time comes, right? I've got some potential plans, but I'd be lying to you if I made them sound concrete. And as you can probably guess, I'm not a fan of doing that, of lying to people. But anyway, folks, with all that said, I just want to mention, as always, again, if you're enjoying this series, if you would like to see it continue, please don't hesitate to keep letting me know. Leave those likes and comments down below, folks. They do make a massive difference. Again, I look at the numbers, get a quick read on people's interest levels, on if I should keep something going, if there should be a Season 3, or if people want to move on to a, you know, similar but different game, perhaps. I read through all the comments as well to get a vibe check on that kind of stuff, to get an understanding on you know, how people are feeling about the series, about things that have been happening. So keep all that coming. It does make a very big difference. It really helps make me make decisions. Helps me make decisions is what I. Oof! Wow! All over the place. I'm just excited for what's to come with today's episode. So I'm a little all over the place. But as I was saying, it helps me make decisions with regards to what's to come, not just for a series in particular, but for the channel as a whole. Now, with that said, and with me alluding to me being excited, I think the thumbnail and the title have probably already given away what we're going to be getting up to today, so I'm not going to pretend like you don't already know. but we are adding the chimpanzee. It's gonna be a fantastic time. I'm really excited to complete this this area over here, as that is the plan. I'm sure during the time lapse I'll kind of touch on the logic there and the thinking there. It's the result of a very enlightening comment that I got, I kid you not, 30, 40, like 50 episodes ago or something. And I was like, I'm going to note that down. And I did. And I'm going to remember that for when the time comes. And the time has come. Looks like we have a couple of issues over here with our Colombian. Oh, we have a couple of issues across. Oh. Man, this is starting to. This is really unfortunate where I don't know how you're. I should have mentioned this about the. How cute these guys are. Are leopards, as I often keep calling them. But yeah, so our jaguars have this newfound issue, and I just don't understand why. And you, I'm assuming what's your problem? Why is your enrichment so low? Why is your social so low? Why is what? None of this adds up. That doesn't make any sense. How about you? You're the one that escaped. We'll see if that sorts out. And these guys, I'm assuming it's a space thing. It's not a space thing. It's just a pure social thing. But there's no reason for it to be so low. I'm gonna go ahead and unbox you. Right. I'm gonna go ahead and unpause for just a fraction of a second here. There we go. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. But why are you still bummed out over here? You should be fine as well. Everything looks fantastic for these guys. You know what? I think it's just a matter of hitting play and letting time move forward a little bit. But we'll deal with that later. We'll deal with that later. I do want to get to the time lapse as quickly as possible. I want to look at the animal kind of description and stuff as well, like the Zoopedia entry and all that stuff. But before I get into that, I want to point out there is currently a community challenge, which I don't think I entirely understand. And based on contributions, I feel like there's other people out there who might also be a little thrown off by it. A helping hand. Release 50,000 3-star vulnerable animals. Okay. All right, you know what? That's not confusing at all. I think that makes perfect sense. Many species face difficulties and danger in the world today, with zoos being vital in lending their support. Join them by releasing 3-star vulnerable animals this week and learning a bit about the efforts to protect them. So, it's obviously something I want to be a part of because I think we should be able to pull this off. We just have to release 3-star animals into the wild. Now, they need to be vulnerable. There's a couple of variables involved over here. So, I mean, like, off the top of my head, which animals come to mind as vulnerable? I imagine vulnerable plus, right? You know, like if it's worse off than vulnerable, that counts too. I don't know. I guess one way to find out is to go to our painted dog. Where's my Zoopedia? Right, because they're endangered. Vulnerable is not as bad as endangered, so I would imagine going and releasing something that is in a worse off state would be fine. And with that said, we have a lot of pups over here. I don't know if we have that many adults, and of the adults we do have, I don't know what kind of stars we're looking at either. There are a lot of moving parts to this. Again, it's not necessarily difficult or confusing or anything, but there are a lot of moving parts here. Right, gotta have that high star rating. Well, you know what's really good actually? Normally it's a matter of heartbreak for me to let go of an animal, as y'all are very well familiar. But this is for a good cause. There's a challenge out there. All these guys are a little too, old. All these guys and girls are a little too old. Maybe it's time for the next generation to come through. Because, oh wow, nobody over here is having children. Wow, yeah, we really got to get in some new African wild dogs, and make sure that while this pack, that's unfortunate. The timing gap between birth and death is such that we weren't able to sort of continue this line. This line is going to come to an end. But with that said, again, silver lining thinking, as I like to try and apply. 4-star. We got another 4-star over here. Well, okay, some of them are infertile probably because of the contraceptives, right? I wish it would like highlight contraceptives on this screen. Like, just give me a proper full summary, I mean, it does, but I have to hover over this. It's like, nah, they're all, I think they're all infertile. They're all just a little too old, and I didn't catch it as it was happening. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a test over here with Bomani. Go ahead and release you to the Oh, I can't because they're too old. Right. Okay. Well, either way, this is a thing that needs to be solved. Let's go ahead and rehome you. I imagine that's not going to contribute to our thing, as it shouldn't. Because we didn't release them to the wild. It did not. Okay. So this is something we'll have to take care of. This is what happens when we have too many gaps between management sessions. It's just like some things start to slip through, and before you know it, you've got an entire pack of dogs who are aging and not mating because of one reason or another. I'm sure I missed a notification or something. It's entirely on me. Doesn't make it any less unfortunate. Looks like that burger is gone, eh? Yeah. Okay, good. Some of you are suggesting that maybe somebody was trying to feed the hyenas and they tossed a burger in, but the glass caught it. Seems like a viable understanding of the situation. We'll maybe have to do something about that. What about lion? I mean, these West African lions. Let's take a look at what your rating is. Critically endangered, right? Yeah, so these guys should, again, count. But, man, it's always so difficult to do this, but I should, right? Abayomi? Such great stats. It's so hard to let go of. I'm not going to do this for too much longer, I promise you that, because I do want to, Alright, let's go ahead and release Ramilla. Well, actually, hold on. I do want to get to the time lapse and the new animal ASAP. I want to check your mates here. Olufemi is out right now. And you would be fine. Could get you off of contraceptives. Olufemi, right? Not very good immunity, but everything else is fantastic. So let's try Ramilla over here. Oh, okay, this hurts, but Olufemi, recent birth. Ooh, is there any like inbreeding over here? I don't think so, right? Because we just brought Olufemi in. Man, why's it got to be this difficult? Buseji, why don't we go ahead and release you? Just to see if this works. Just to see if this works even, right? Bio, Yomi, where is? What? Tough to find our lions. Probably lying down somewhere. Who was it? Buseji. Oh, but she's a little too old, isn't she? Oh, alright, fine. Alright, decision made. It's gonna be you, Ramilla. Let's go ahead and release you to the wild. I really hope this counts, because if it doesn't, I will be absolutely distraught. It already hurts to click on release. There you go. And our contribution has not been noted. Okay, so it has to be vulnerable. That hurts. That hurts. That hurts a lot. But I would love it if I could see just the vulnerable animals then, because man. I don't have sun bears. I don't. I got this. Okay. Endangered. It's a very narrow scope of a challenge. Maybe that's why polar bears are vulnerable. I guess we could go to Elite Zoo North to do that. Maybe that's why there hasn't been that much of a contribution to this yet. Komodo dragon. Again, we could go back to Elite Zoo North. I think maybe koalas, but we're having trouble breeding koalas ourselves. Right. Okay, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I think next session, because we have a few days on this, feel free to remind me in the comments, by the way, but next session I think we're going to go and visit Elite Zoo North momentarily and release some of these vulnerable animals. Giant pandas. All of the vulnerable animals are at Elite Zoo North, it looks like. Oh, we got a giant anteater, but again, like, it's not like we have so many of them. Ooh, aha, the Galapagos giant tortoise. Unfortunately, most of the ones that I have are babies, so I can't really just toss them out there. Dingoes are an option, okay. Sorry, folks, this is a detour. Definitely a bit of a detour. But of the dingoes, can we even... Yeah, sure, looks like we should be able to release some of them. Right, Riley? No. Old, but not infertile. Alright. Time to, I guess, unfortunately, split the pack up a little bit. Oh, man, this hurts. But, Riley, time to go. And we're going to check again really quickly after I do that. Release. Make sure. Yes, that is a contribution. Wonderful. Okay. So, Riley gone. Grace is our alpha. She'll stick around. Hudson over here. I don't want to take too many away from the pack either. Grace is a bit on the older side. I think they're all on the older side, right? I feel like, unless we do a quick jiggle very soon of, like, male and female pairing, we have a couple of females who are still, and a couple of males coming up as well. Okay, so this line shall continue. This line shall continue. Connor and Luca. Let's go ahead and you and Eva as well. So Grace and Ryan stick around. Luca, Eva, Connor, and there's still numbers. Sure. What's the deal here? Oh, I see. It's just a separate button. Didn't they used to swap them out, one for the other? Maybe I'm misremembering. But either way, Elite Zoo to the Wild. Go for it. And we might still, yes, go to Elite Zoo North next session and continue to contribute. But it'd be great if we can hit that target. I don't know. It does feel. It feels like a narrow. Maybe I'm like being a bit hyperbolic, but it feels like the scope of that challenge is a lot narrower than most. But I guess, hey, I guess that's what makes it a challenge. Just hope enough people have the right types of animals at the right star level, at the right ages, at the right fertility, to be able to contribute. You know what I mean? That's a lot of moving parts. Anyway, folks, that lasted way longer than I expected. Over to Zoopedia, over to the Western chimpanzee, also known as the Pan Troglodytes verus, which I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of, but hey, that's feel free to correct me. Critically endangered, population in wild 18,000 to 60,000. Not a very numerous bunch at all. The Western chimpanzee, or Pan Troglodytes verus. I want to say it's Troglodytes verus, but I feel like, I don't know. Anyway, it's a subspecies of the common chimpanzee native to the forests of Guinea, Liberia, Senegal, Sierra Leone, and the Ivory Coast. Along with bonobos, pause for effect, they are the closest living relatives of human beings, sharing more than 98% of our DNA. 98%. It's insane. It blows my mind every time, even though I know it, right? Even though I know this is a fact I've known for a very long time, blows my mind every time I read it or think about it or like ponder it, you know? I'm just like sitting around and going like, watching a video about chimpanzees in action, and I go, man, look at how they act. That's how we act. It's wild to me. They're critically endangered, heavily threatened by the loss of their habitat, something accelerated by deforestation and the expansion of human agriculture. They're also targeted by poachers for bushmeat, traditional medicine, and also captured for illegal pet trade. Or the illegal pet trade, sorry. As a result, all chimpanzees are protected by national and international laws, but enforcement of those laws is weak and remains an ongoing problem. While 30% of chimps live within national parks where they receive ample protection, those living in the wild are very vulnerable from outside threat. Western chimpanzees are extremely intelligent and socially capable animals. They have black hair, brown skin and eyes, long arms, hands, and feet, with opposable thumbs that allow for more complex motor functions. While the subspecies is not that visually distinct from the central and eastern chimpanzees, the population of western chimpanzees has been isolated for 500,000 years and is now genetically distinct. Everybody is also, like, y'all are having your minds blown by these numbers and stuff as well, right? Like, again, I'm familiar with, like, the chimpanzees. I'm familiar with these facts, but still, to, like, think about them, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but it blows my mind every time. So, we are going to be taking some liberties with regards to some aspects I'll be touching on with the habitat placement and stuff. I'll touch on that during the time lapse. But you can kind of see the region that the western chimpanzee is actually from. Guinea, Senegal, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Ivory Coast. I'm so used to it being Côte d'Ivoire. It throws me off every time I read Ivory Coast, hence my pausing every time it comes up. But again, their land requirement is about the same as the bonobos. I think so. Bonobo. Bonobo. I had a couple people point out that my pronunciation of bonobo isn't entirely correct, and I'm not surprised. So thank you for that. But now I can't for the life of me remember the correction, so I apologize. 780 and 80. 780 and 80. So exactly the same. We can use one as reference for the other. Species data. Group size, excluding juveniles, is 5 to 15, up to 10 males, up to 10 females, so they can get quite large. Part of me wishes that I'd given them much more space so we could have these massive troops, or I'm actually not sure what a group of chimpanzees is called. I imagine we'll find out. But alas, that is not the case. We're going to have to be pretty selective. Maybe that's for the better. The bachelor group sizes are 5 to 10 for males and 5 to 15 for females. The dominance is patriarchal, mating system is promiscuous, and the relation with humans is confident, but guests cannot enter the habitat. They are 4.8 feet tall when standing for males, 3.6 feet tall when standing females, 51 years life expectancy across the board, and the weight difference, the average, I should say, weight difference between the male and the female is, sizable. 110 pounds for the male, 88 pounds for the female. Yeah. Sexual maturity at 14 years, sterility at 50 years. Number of offspring per mating event is 1. That's good, that's manageable. Gestation and incubation is 8 months. Interbirth is 60 months, and reproduction in captivity is easy, which is great because baby chimpanzees are adorable, and I cannot wait. Chimpanzees are very social animals living in large groups in the wild. Males are dominant in chimpanzee society, with their age being a primary determining factor in the hierarchy. The males in individual groups are interrelated, while unrelated females migrate in from other groups, and they will all further their social bonding by hunting together and grooming each other. They will even learn skills from one another, such as how to use sticks and rocks as tools. And a lot more. And a lot more. There's some very interesting scientific studies done on chimpanzee behavior and chimpanzees passing knowledge on between generations and between just, not even between generations, but just amongst themselves, between each other, whatever term you want to use. It's fascinating stuff. Fascinating stuff. Reproduction. Chimpanzees are promiscuous animals with both males and females mating with multiple partners throughout their lifetime. The alpha male gets first pick of a female partner, while some males may keep their chosen females away from other males because of their promiscuity. Interesting. The pregnancy of a female chimp lasts 8 months before giving birth to a single infant, which the mother will take care of until it reaches around 4 years old. At this point, the offspring will begin to distance from its mother. It's like its teen years. It's at this age that the young males will begin to form close bonds with other males within the group, while females will begin to explore away from the family group. Then, at 10 years old, the females will leave in search of an unrelated group, while the males will remain with their original family. Cool. All right. Research status, of course, we got nothing but monkey chow. We got, gotta get a keyboard down. Nothing too fancy. Another tool puzzle feeder. Always kind of fun. All right, fair enough, fair enough. No interspecies enrichment or anything like that. Now, something actually I realized, and something I'm a little concerned about. Oh dear, okay. Minimum group size is 5. That could be a problem. That could be a bit of a problem. In the space we have for them, I might need to adjust the path a little bit to give them just a little bit more space. It might not seem like much, like this is where the chimpanzee is going. And the difference between this and this extra bit over here might not seem like much, but as far as area is concerned, that might be quite significant. So I might need to rejig the pathing a little bit. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. This isn't going to be too much of a struggle to do, I don't think. Famous last words, I know, but that'll be, I think, a necessity before I get into the actual space. But yeah, folks, it's going to be a good time. I'm really excited for this one. I've been excited for this one for a very long time. I've been thinking about this one forever. I've been hinting at this one. I've been talking about this one. I've been, trying not to say too much about this one for months. Months! Not just this one, but the bonobos as well, together. So I'm very excited to dive on in. Folks, it's time-lapse time. All right, folks, I am really pumped for this time-lapse. This is a plan that has been in my mind for literally months. I received a comment many episodes ago now that struck a chord and stuck with me. And with the bonobo enclosure being made, we made our first step into executing that suggestion and that plan. And with the chimpanzee enclosure being added today, we're sort of taking our next step. I would like to say we're taking it to completion, but what's ever really complete around these parts? So I'm really excited for this one, actually, and I can finally explain the angle and why it is what it is. But basically, the bonobo and the chimpanzee are extremely related, I guess is the quick way to put it. In fact, the bonobo is, or was, I guess, historically referred to as well as the pygmy chimpanzee, or the dwarf chimpanzee as well. And maybe that kind of gives a hint at how similar they are or were or are thought to have been. I guess, take your pick. We also sometimes refer to both of the species collectively as chimpanzees, whether that's accurate or not taxonomically, as I'm not the expert in that field, as I'm sure y'all can tell. But that is a term used for both of them. They're that similar. In fact, there is reason to believe. I'm not sure if we know with absolute certainty, but we're fairly confident that the formation of the Congo River is what actually resulted in the I always butcher this word, the speciation. Sorry, I keep wanting to say the speciation of the bonobo. Woof, always butcher that word. Anyway, so the Congo River split the chimpanzees up, and because they cannot swim, they were not able to interact anymore. And that river sort of directly, I was going to say indirectly, but directly resulted in these two kind of split sets of chimpanzees evolving a little differently. And so now you have the bonobo that lives on the south side of the Congo River, and you have the chimpanzee on the north side of the Congo River. Now, again, I think I mentioned this before the time lapse, the western chimpanzee doesn't live in the DRC, it lives further away, but as we've done before, we're using a sort of common story point or scientific point and extrapolating from that to tell a greater story of the chimpanzee and the bonobo. And I think that's acceptable, especially because it is so, to me at least, fascinating. I think that's really cool. Now, we think the Congo River formed about 1.5 to 2 or so million years ago, and that's when this separation happened from this common ancestor, the chimpanzee, as it were, which I thought was really cool. I mean, it's also funny to me to think of walking through Darwin's den to come to a place. I mean, yeah, it's not right next to it, but you eventually come to a place after passing through Darwin's den. You come to a place that talks about these kinds of things, or that touches on these kinds of things about evolution and how species have evolved, for lack of a better word, separately and things like that. I thought it was absolutely fascinating. I got to learn something new from the comments, as I always do with your honestly just fantastic and fascinating comments. And this was one that I just like. I think it's pretty easy to say, or pretty easy to tell, I should say, that I quite like just monkeys and apes just in general. And so it was a comment that struck a chord on that angle, I guess, on that front. And I was like, I really want to touch on this because it touches on many things that I find fascinating personally. And so here we are. The river that we carved. See, previously I was gonna just be happy with an east-west split because I was like, whatever, it's the zoo, it's fine. Like, it doesn't have to be so much of a parallel to the real world. In fact, it can be perpendicular to the real world. Get it? Because north-south versus east-west. Forgive me. But then as I started doing the bonobo enclosure, I was like, but it would be nice to make it north-south. And that's why I spent time while making the bonobo enclosure. I spent time converting this river into an east-west river so that the split would be north and south. And as long as I've got my cardinal directions correct, the bonobos are south of the river and the the chimpanzees are north. Yeah, so there you have it. That's the story there. I'm sure some of you were already... In fact, I'm pretty sure I saw some comments that were already calling out exactly what was going to happen, and it's always fun to see that. It's always fun to, like, see that come up. It's also always fun to see the guesswork and the quote-unquote wrong, so to speak, air quotes, guesses. I love seeing people's thought process in that kind of stuff. That's why I always throw things out for like, hey, yeah, you know, can you guess what I'm going for here? I love that kind of stuff. So it was pretty interesting to read through different folks' different angles and all that. But yeah, there you have it. That's been the plan all along. And on the topic of guesswork, I guess, very loose segue over here, folks. Today I am actually dropping some brand new Elite Zoo Company swag, courtesy of the lady of the house, Miss Elite, who has illustrated a magnificent piece of work that I think many of you will quite like and appreciate. I'll have it linked in the pinned comment down below. I know I mentioned this after the time lapse as well, but for those of you that don't watch anything outside of the time lapse, I just want to let you know, because you might be interested. The guesswork connection is that I'm sure it's plenty obvious, but it's fun anyway for me. But I'd love to hear your guesses as to why that swag, why that art is being released now of all times. This has been planned for a very long time, much like this enclosure, but I waited until now, and I'd love to hear, I'd love to see some guesses. But do check it out. I really quite like the piece, and it's available in a few different kinds of media, I suppose. But yeah, if you check out the link in the pinned comment down below, you'll be able to check out this brand new swag. It's kind of funny, actually. Recently, I was asked when I dropped a bunch of new merch on my website a couple weeks ago, and I got a couple people asking, like, hey, you know, are you going to do any new Elite Zoo stuff, or what's the plan there? And I had this answer, but I was kind of like quietly like chuckling to myself, because I like these things to be a bit of a surprise, and I like them to, you know, I don't know. That's I'm a sucker for that kind of thing. So I was just like, in my head, I was like, oh, I wish I could tell you, but just hang in there for just a couple more days. And here we are. So yeah, check it out. It's in the pinned comment down below. And let me know what you think. I mean, I'm just curious as well to hear folks' thoughts on it as well. But with that said, this is actually a perfect timing. This area that I'm working on right now, bit of a struggle. Not exactly pleased with what I was getting done, and I scrapped that, and that's still something I'll need to figure out, is how to fence that area off. We don't need to. The chimpanzee is not able to climb it or get out of there, but still, for, you know, the sake of realism and integration and all that, it would be nice to build a proper bit of fencing there. Over here as well, just extending the playpen, the jungle gym, or whatever you want to call it, trying to add some places for them to jump to or climb up on top of. Add a bit of variety, and you'll see from time to time I just add more vegetation around the enclosure as well. I feel like as this dense kind of jungle area is getting established, this entire enclosure is feeling a lot more like a part of the zoo finally. This like, you know, however many square kilometers this is, just feels like it belongs now, and that's influencing my decision making outside of just the enclosure alone, including the construction of this little hallway over here. I don't know if I'll keep it, but I do quite like how it looks. I don't know if I'll enclose it completely. Maybe I'll put a couple of rooftop areas down, like I will do for the cheetah walkway, or runway, if you will, the catwalk, huh? But for now, I leave it uncovered, and I'm still kind of like not entirely sure if I am gonna keep this, or how I'm gonna tweak it if I tweak it. But this is the last thing we do in today's time lapse, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. But right now, we're going back to regular speed. Alright, folks, we are back from the time lapse, and I gotta say, I am overall very pleased with this space. I think it could use some work, obviously. There's still some adjustment that needs making. There's still some tweaks. I want to add some more vegetation and stuff like that, but overall, the space is looking pretty good. I like all the shapes that we're getting. They're, like, again, like, when I say I'm happy with a place, y'all know what that means. It means I still want to do some work on it, but overall, the bones are there, so to speak, right? Like, I might want to finesse how these, like, I loved the step look throughout the entirety of the time lapse. I was like, yeah, you know, this is, I like this. And then, you know, stopped the time lapse, stepped away for a bit, came back, sat down, started recording, and immediately I was like, yeah, but maybe it would be nicer if it was smoothed out. Like, you know, stuff like that always happens. But that aside, I kind of like the overall shape we're getting. I like the colors we're getting. I like how this section has become so much like white plaster stuff. We're going to break away from that, of course, as we move further and further along, but it's just kind of an interesting hot spot of plaster use, I guess. But yeah, from a distance as well, like, you know, it's all starting to feel like it belongs. You can kind of, you can spot the area from a distance. It's got all the little things that make me happy with the space. Though it's missing one thing, and that is the actual animal that should be inside the enclosure. So let's go ahead and get that done. Over to animal trading. Like, where am I going again? Over to the animal market. Hold on. I know I do not have a chimpanzee. However, to build the habit, I'm going to go and check my rewards. I'm going to go... It would be really funny if I actually did have a chimpanzee. That would be, honestly, you can't write that kind of stuff. That would have been amazing. But no, that's not the case. I do, however, have 2 Indian elephants. When we do go back to, I think, again, it'll be a momentary return to Elite Zoo North for us to, you know, continue contributing to the community challenge here, which has gone up by 2%. Excellent. When we go back, I think I'll drop off Rishi, and I'll maybe even consider... Well, I guess that's all we'd be able to do. Anyway, building habits here. Building habits. Over to the animal market. Over to our filter to pick out the Western chimpanzee. There we go. Right at the end over here. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Of course, only males. Not only males, but only 2 males available right now. Like, we barely have a pick over here. Let's go with the Rashidi. Seems like the stats are slightly better. Guaranteed by the time I click adopt, he'll be gone. Hey, we actually got him. Waiting the trade center. Let's go and send you over to quarantine. And hopefully we'll be able to get, you know, everybody in today, but I would be surprised if I don't. Over to quarantine. It's really weird to me how this is all kind of I don't know the right word I'm looking for, but like how it's all gone down, I guess, like the market. It's so much, I don't know, emptier these days, you know, like for all the animals I'm chasing after. And I understand, obviously, it's because people are either not playing anymore, or they're playing something else, or they're trading other animals, or what have you. I mean, but it's still strange to see. It's still strange to see. All right, let's go ahead and unpause and let time move on. Continue to collect tremendous amounts of cash. Get that chimpanzee checked out, and then we'll get them over to the enclosure, and hopefully we'll all have a wonderful time. Folks, I want to mention as well, again, if you have any name suggestions, of course, feel free to drop them in the comments down below. And if you have any name suggestions for our bonobo enclosure as well, feel free to drop them down below, because Habitat 47 and I believe this is Habitat 48. Yeah, not exactly the naming convention I want to go with. I do actually have a cheetah enclosure name picked out already, and I was going to do it during today's time lapse. I was actually going to do it before today's time lapse as well. But Habitat 46 for now will stay as Habitat 46. I will refer to my notes, and what we'll do is we'll come through and we'll name, we'll put names down for all these guys at the same time. Maybe next session we do a little beauty pass and a name thing for this section over here. Or we of course go ahead and add another animal. I'm actually there's work to be done here still. I want to figure out this transition. I couldn't really nail it. I wasn't 100% loving what I was getting. Obviously, we need some railing over here, and we can't use the railing that comes with the footpath, because then it'll put railing up over here as well, and that's not right. So there are a couple of things that need doing here still. I'm torn between, do we stay here and finish this off next time, or do we, add the next animal and then come back here the time after that? I'm not exactly sure. I want to make sure I don't leave too much behind, because we all know what happens when too much has been left behind, right? I thought I did use emergency capture on you. I guess I was mistaken. My bad. But yeah, like there's still stuff all over the zoo that still needs doing. In fact, like while filming the little thing at the end of the last session, I became acutely aware of how much work is left to be done, for our koalas, for quality time. I have plans, right? I have plans, but they're big plans, and that's the thing with big plans, is they take big amounts of time. Rashidi, let's rush you out to, yes, Habitat 48. Go for it. I really hope there's enough space over here. I think this could be a really nice enclosure. I think it'd be a really fun enclosure. Now, again. I mean, I don't think they're actually going to use the space how I have intended it, but it's nice to pretend, right? It's nice to pretend that they'll, climb up over here and they'll hop from pillar to pillar to pillar to pillar, come down over here and stuff, like run around. Like, is it going to happen? Probably not. Let's be realistic. Is it fun to pretend? 100%. I did it with, like, remember the, in fact, going back to Elite Zoo North momentarily last session helped kind of jog my memory and helped me kind of think about, like, the, panda enclosure where we did kind of a something like this through the river. I was like, yeah, that's fun. That's a good bit of fun we have with that. Let's go ahead and try that again. All you guys, I'm gonna need the game to stop doing that. Randomly boxing people up. Offspring. I guess I could claim my prize over here. I like when it all pops all at the same time. Oh, hey, we're actually pretty high up in terms of our contribution. I do hope this gets completed. I don't know how much, I don't know how likely that is or how well it'll go, but, I do hope it gets completed. Now, on the topic of completed, I believe the hippo research has been completed. That is something that I want to kind of, like, note down for, I think, next time, because I do want to read all the fun facts, but of course I also do want to make sure we get our, our chimpanzees in here and take a look at them and watch them at play as well. I only have so much time to record any given episode. I want to make sure we're staying on task, as it were. But I do want to read the fun facts as well. So again, I just got to remind myself next session, read the hippo fun facts. Why are you guys running? Why are you acting so suspicious? There's rubbish all over the place. Do you think maybe you're partly responsible for that? Or is it because there's no bins over here and people can't be bothered to walk 10 feet without dropping stuff? Let's go ahead and get a couple more bins over here. Come on. Copy down, up over here. Oh, chimpanzees arriving. Pop another one down, up over here. I don't like sully the view of the bridge, That should be enough. All right, how you doing, buddy? First thing to check, social group, of course, not happy at all. Habitat. You can climb, get around. You are able to ever so slightly escape over here. Now, is that a proper jumping escape, or is that like the boundary is not far off enough? Not exactly sure, but we're about to find out. If I move you over, nope. If I move you, come on, over. And I move you over. Can you imagine taking this boat ride and a chimpanzee just jumps onto your boat? That's an experience worth paying for. What else do we have over here? Are you okay with your terrain? Happy with the terrain? Space is okay. We might need to shift some of these trees around. We might need to change the flow of the river a bit, make it a bit thinner or something, just to give a bit more land. Because as this place gets more and more crowded, yeah, I don't know, I'm a little worried about that. A little worried about that. I was right before the time lapse, and I am now as well. Everything else is looking okay. We do need more of them, of course, but everything else is looking mostly okay. Species toy enrichment. They could do with another toy, though. Let's go ahead and habitat. Chimpanzee. What can I get you? Sprinkler. Sprinklers are fun. I say that as a 100% adult human being. There you go. That'll be good. Base. Insufficient. I guess it's got to recalculate the climbing. It was just okay with the climbing, so I'm guessing it's recalculating. And what we can do is there is still room over here to like add like climbing, like a I don't know, jungle gym or monkey bars, if you will. We can do some stuff over here. Like we'll be fine. I just want to also make sure they're not able to jump on top over here and just get loose. That would not be ideal. All right, I think overall we're okay. The short grass was a bit much actually. I could adjust that right now. We could add some rock instead, sure. I don't know if rock and short grass, like, if the short grass is where I would put the rock down. Don't know if... Oh, yeah, okay, a little bit. Just along the edge over here. Alright. And then it's all somewhere. Up over here, I could put down some soil maybe. Break this up. There we go, yeah. Just trying to make it look a bit natural-ish, I guess. Yeah, okay, that's good. Good. Done. And as I unpause, I really hope this recalculates and pops right back up, because it was hot. There we go, beautiful. Beautiful. Alright. Man. They're such fun. They're such fun. Just like, I don't know. They make me smile. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. Good times. Good times. Like, I know this is not like intentional. I know it's a bug, but it totally looks like he's got like a little. Whoa, where'd you go? Okay, he looked like he had a little like you know, like a little bump to his step, like he's listening to some music, like he's got his like headphones on. He's just like jamming as he's walking with like 100% swagger. Look at that. It's great. Love how these guys look, how they move, how they play. I'm really excited actually to see these guys in action. On the topic of things I'm excited about, actually, I should mention. I mentioned this during the time lapse as well, I'm sure, but in case you missed it during the time lapse, or you know, you skipped the time lapse, or you prefer not to watch, whatever it might be. If you missed it, please do not hesitate to check out the link I've put down in the pinned comment down below, where you will find some. Oh, wait. Just a little too slow on that. It's like golden hour. The lighting would have been perfect. You know, I don't mind that either. Gotta. I wish the camera had a bit more like finesse to it. There's like something about that. I wish I'd caught it just a little bit sooner with that sunlight falling on his eyes. Oh, that would have been beautiful. Sorry. I couldn't help myself, but couldn't help but get distracted by that opportunity that I missed. Oh, are we? Come on. It's like the perfect lighting conditions if you just step out. Moment of truth. Look at that. Gotta love the hues. Gotta love the colors, man. This game's beautiful. This game is beautiful. But yes, sorry, as I was saying, on the topic of things that excite me, and on the topic of things that are beautiful, check out the link I've dropped in the pinned comment down below. There is a lovely bit of work from the lady of the house, Miss Elite, that you might be interested in checking out. It's kind of funny. I got asked about if we're going to be seeing any more Elite Zoo swag anytime soon. Where'd you go, buddy? And it was kind of funny because I like these things to be concrete when I mention them, and also B, I like them to be surprises when they happen. So I saw that question get asked when I dropped a bunch of swag on my website, you know, a couple weeks ago, and I was just kind of like quietly giggling to myself because I knew what was coming, and I quite like it. I think it's quite beautiful, and I was just waiting for this opportunity over here to get everything in place. I'm gonna leave things vague, and I'm curious if y'all know what I'm getting at. I imagine it's pretty obvious when you click through the link or see the title of the link. I think it's pretty obvious why I was waiting for, or what I was waiting for, and why I was waiting. But a little bit of fun, right? A little bit of fun to have with that. But it's yeah, it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time planning as well. But once again, and unsurprisingly, Miss Elite comes through with some just absolutely gorgeous artwork that I think y'all would like. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. It's in the pinned comment down below, which I'm pretty sure I've remembered to put the pinned comment in. But if I haven't, then I'm sure y'all will be like, "Hey, party, where's the pinned comment?" But I will remember to put that pinned comment in. This guy's having a great time. Look at this guy; he's just hopping around. All right, hold on a second though. I think we've waited long enough to check to see if perhaps we could bring a friend in. Yes. Who to pick? Who to pick? Who to pick? I'm thinking we get Rashidi. Because I can't help myself. And the two perhaps? We have conservation credits. We have conservation credits. Over to the zoo tab. Oh, more research completed. Cheetah. Where are we? Animals. And give me the western chimpanzee, please. Right. Why? Why you gotta be like this? There we go. Gotta pick him here. Then to zoo. Over to quarantine. Yes, there we go. Excellent. This will be the real test now. This will be the real test of that space. I feel like it's a little too tight, but we're gonna find out together, right? I really quite like the space though. I think making it a bit bigger is not going to be that much of a challenge. It'll be just a matter of, I think, the river needing to be thinned a bit. Maybe over there and also over here. Just thin the river out a little bit. Move the trees out a little bit, perhaps, so that they're not blocking so much space. Because, again, right, when you put a tree down, even if it's climbable, what ends up happening is... Whoops. You get these, like, blank spots, right? And that can really eat up the navigable area quite a bit. Over here... Oh, hello. Well, this is... Oh, okay. I thought I was looking at this section, not that section. You can see how like the ramp is also blocking some stuff off. There's stuff we can do. There's stuff we can do for sure. For sure. Buddy, where'd you go? Tucking in. Got hard shelter. He's got places to hide, places to play, a little bit of everything. Good. It'll be good. I think it'll be fine. The other thing I need to do, I need to get like donation bins and stuff down for both of these guys. Donation bins, education boards, all that kind of stuff. Oh, look at that. The frame rate feels a lot better, doesn't it? It's not like, you know, a full 60, as it should be, but it's better than it was a couple sessions ago, I think. Alright. Our buddy. Can you reach the water? I don't think so. I think I need a water pipe. I think I will need a water pipe. That's fine. I don't mind the water pipe. Not my favorite. I prefer when they have like little lakes and stuff to drink from, but water pipe, because that doesn't need filling. Copy down over here. What I should probably actually do is get some bedding down as well. Got a couple of spots where they can rest. I wasn't sure exactly where I'd want them to rest. Where they'd still be like visible. Maybe this is the best spot for it. Sure, let's try that. Lower this a bit so it's actually, you know, in the ground. Cool. Quarantine's passed. Good stuff. Get all of you chimpanzees into the chimpanzee. Over here. Let's go. Take some time. It'll be a bit of a lineup, I think. And just watching the giraffe run is just like research complete. All this research being completed is like, I want to read all the fun facts, but I hope we haven't finished. Okay, good. Maybe we'll have the hippos and the pygmy hippos done at the same time, and then I can read fun facts for both of them at the same time. Alright, I'll take some time for these guys to get here. I do wonder if the value of this ride has gone up now that as you like go by, you'll be able to see the chimpanzee at play. that little like hop in his step is hilarious. I still haven't climbed any of this stuff, which is unfortunate. Really want to see some of the climbing animations, the jumping animations. I just love the way their face... Whoa. Oh my god, I was like, did you hop the fence? I love the way their faces move and everything. They've done such a good job. They've done such a good job with the animations. Look at that. Look at that. Looks absolutely blissful. He's having a good time. He's definitely listening to music in his head. He's got some jams. For sure. Really could spend forever looking at the animals just move around and stuff. Where are our guests at? I'm sure, I mean, again, they have to, the game has to process that a new animal has arrived and, oh, here we go. Ah, I love it. I love, see, that's what I was talking about. That's what I wanted to see. That, like, running, all fours running animation. Okay, now there's a shot. Look at how grand it looks. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm having a lot of fun with the camera today. Is that for a new buddy? Is that for your keeper? I know that's not what was going on, but it certainly felt like it, and that was pretty nice. I was going to say something, and I completely forgot. I was completely distracted by this little guy having a good time. Having the time of his life. Alright. Couple new companions coming through. Now, like I was saying, moment of truth, right? Oh, there goes the bobbin. Okay. The navigable land area stays intact. That's good to see. I was worried that would drop down as well, but the climbing has dropped down. A very easy thing to fix, actually. A very easy thing to fix, so I'm not too concerned about that. Go ahead and actually extend this. I was thinking about doing that anyway, because I want to make sure we're able to eat up top here. Now the point. I wonder if that'll be enough. Pop you down. Come on now. And pop you down. Buddy's climbing up over here. Oh, just got boxed because I guess it's recalculating the space. Everyone's arrived. Everyone's having a good time. What are you doing up there? Need a little bit more for climbing. Not bad. Trying to figure out what I want to do. I think I want to do something more than just extend these platforms, right? I think I want to do something like maybe something like this. Like this kind of a thing. I always worry that they'll clip through. I hope not. But that'd be fun. You kind of like hop down. You can walk around that. Again, I could make a little like, oh, they're playing up over here. Wait, or are they fighting? They look like they're fighting. Yep, hang on. There's a shot. Oh, man. So good. I've made a mistake, haven't I? Now, it says dangerous fighting for alpha status, and I've been told that that's, when it says it's a dangerous fight for alpha status, it's a problem. But over here it says group size 5 to 15. Up to 10 males, up to 10 females. So, should I just let them create their dominance structure and then move on from that? Or will they constantly fight for alpha status? Man, this is honestly though, oh, what up? Bangs, bared, just full on battle mode here. Oh my god. Look at the detail, man. Just the, oh my, this is, I'm sorry. I have all the lines from Planet of the Apes going in my head right now as well. Ape must not fight ape. Ape together strong. There's something about this, the action in this shot. He's just going for a high five, man. Sorry, I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but you don't get these moments all the time, and when I do, I like to like just enjoy them. Let me know if you hate that. If you do, let me know, and I'll stop doing it. But if any of you are on the same page as me and on the same boat as me, and just like seeing all the movement, all the just like the lines and stuff, just it's stuff that I admire a lot about this game, especially, and I can't help but take a moment to just take it all in. Also, there's just something about this. It's a very, I don't know, some powerful imagery right here, in my opinion, at least. But folks, I gotta figure out, yeah, what should I let them fight, assert dominance, get their, you know, social structure in place, or because it's dangerous, right, should I actually remove one of the males and leave them be? I find this hilarious as well. She's just like, man, gotta deal with this again. Yeah, like, not bothered at all. Guys in the background fighting for attention, and she's just like, nope. This literal see-through wall is significantly more interesting. So cute as well, though. Look at that. Look at how, like, she's seated and everything. This reminds me of our red panda staring at the wall. Where is our other lady? There she is. Also just like, what are they up to up over there? See it in her eyes. She's like, oh man, this again? I love it. But folks, yeah, I gotta figure this out. Gotta put a stop to this fighting. Gotta put a stop to this violence. Oh, look at the power in these faces. I love the visuals. But anyway, just as I gotta put a stop to all that fighting, I gotta put a stop to this episode as well, folks. I hope you enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun just getting the space done. Finally sort of capping off this area. I mean, it might seem minor, but we have, you know, we can now officially and comfortably kind of move on as far as adding animals is concerned without having to look back and go, oh yeah, there's still this gap over here that I've been leaving for so very long. But again, there is still work to do over here. There's still stuff to do. There's still like stuff to close off, some visual stuff that I want to fix up or change up a little bit. But overall, it's a pretty big step in my humble opinion, at least. And there's lots more big steps to come soon. Let me know what you'd like to see next session. As always, I take a look at the comments to get a good idea of what people are interested in, what I should do or not do. Again, folks, leave a like if you would like to see the series continue. It does really help not just me ascertain people's interest levels, but it helps the series through how, you know, the YouTube algorithm and stuff works as well. It does make a massive difference on both fronts. So do please keep that coming if you would like to see Planet Zoo keep coming. And as well, again, just as a reminder, if you'd like to if you'd like to check out some of that sweet new merch, there is a brand new piece that you'll find linked in the pinned comment down below, which I think many of y'all will enjoy. I'm quite partial to it, but I hope you like it as well. And again, throw me your guesses. I'm sure it's obvious why I waited until today, but throw me your guesses, folks. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big ol' thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.